Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Play by Play off air and online. Of course, as it comes to you every Thursday evening, 7 p.m. We talk all things that happened in the world of sport around the world over the last week. And joining me in studio again this evening, it's the one and only, it's only the two of us actually this evening. Adrian, unfortunately, is not feeling too well, so we hope him and wishing him a speedy recovery. But I have got the thorn amongst the roses. No, I'm just kidding. We've got the rose amongst the single thorn. Tara Lee. Good evening, Tara.
Hi, good evening. I'm very happy to be here and I'm very excited to talk about what has been going on this weekend because a lot has been happening in rugby, in cricket. There's even been some fighting action to talk about as well. And I'm sorry about Adrian. I actually fear that I'm the one that infected him.
Oh, yes. You came here last week not feeling 100%.
Exactly. And we were using the same mics in studio. So.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, there you have it. You heard it here first. Formal apology from Tara to Adrian because we think that maybe she's the one that infected him. You see, my immune system's strong coming back from
so strong, eh? But you're sitting very far away from me today. So.
I know. We are sitting far from each other. Listen, let's dive straight into it, of course. Where do we start? Should we start with rugby as we always do? It's probably the right way.
Let's start with rugby because there's been a lot of talk, less about the win over Italy and more about red cards and yellow cards and mitigating factors and whether they were involved or not, whether the red cards were right and whether there should even be a 20-minute red card if it's never given and we're just getting permanent red cards.
Well, South Africa are the only ones that seem to never been given the yellow card changed to a red. We get given the straight reds. Before we dive into that also, as you guys know, the show's obviously recorded on a Tuesday afternoon. And the World Rugby Awards just got announced. And our nominees also just got announced. So we're going to dive into that a little bit later as well. I see Ethan Hooker's his name's been thrown around. And then 3 nominees in terms of the World Player of the Year. So we'll announce that also during the course of the show. It does mean you've got to stay tuned for the rest of the show. And it also means you've got to share your comments with us. Let us know your thoughts. Like, are you enjoying the show? Are you not enjoying the show? Should we change something? Should we change this background, this pink Good Up FM sign to maybe a blue one, a green one like we see behind Tara? What do you guys want to see? What do you want to hear more about? But as the show kicks off, okay, let's dive straight into it. You said we're not receiving red cards. Were the red cards, in your opinion, straight up? I mean, I know you're not that invested in the rules of rugby, although you know a little bit about it. Valid red card, not valid?
Nah, I feel like it shouldn't have been a permanent red card. I mean, that's my thoughts. And I was listening to some analysts saying that it was definitely a red card. I personally don't feel that way at all. I know if it's deemed to be always illegal, but I don't think that he was tucking his arm. I felt like that arm was coming around.
So you know what the problem is for me? Like, for me, specifically that tackle, based on the rules that we have currently, I see it's a red card. I see why they say it's a red card.
Okay.
Hear me out.
You're going to have to explain this to me.
Okay, but hear me out quickly, right? The problem that I have is that specifically that situation, red card, no problem. But then there are so many similar scenarios in other games, in the rest of the games, bar the Siakalisi tackle.
Exactly. Wasn't that similar? Or the Econ
Malcolm. All of those are so similar, yet those get deemed not even a yellow. Those are like non-existent.
Nothing. Exactly.
But we get Franco Masters gets a red card. And that for me is where I feel the lines are being blurred. Because World Rugby has come out, they're super strict. Maybe just on the Springboks. I mean, I stick my neck out and say, I feel like that it's generally always just the Springboks.
You think it's a vendetta against the Springboks?
I don't think it's a vendetta against the Springboks, but I do think there is some bias towards trying to make us less dominant. 2 weeks in a row, playing with 14 men, one for, 50 minutes, the other one for, 70 minutes?
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense. That being said, if there was more consistency in the decision making, then I wouldn't have a problem with it. If they give Franco Masters the red card, no problem. I have no problem with that. But then give the tackle on Siakalisi a red card as well. Give the tackle on Malcolm Masters a red card. When there's so much grey area, I feel like that's where the problem, and that's where South Africans are up in arms. Not so much specifically against the call. Because...
Okay, wait, so you, looking at that call, you are saying, yes, that is a straight red card. Is that what you're saying? It wasn't shoulder to shoulder. You didn't see him trying to go lower. You didn't see the other arm coming around. So in your opinion and in your mind, having watched that, for you, you would also have given it a red card.
You know, a straight red is, I would have based, you know,
What's the point of the yellow?
Think of the whole scenario. Like, I would have given it a yellow, taken it to the TMO, let him make the final decision on whether it's a red. If he then
That I
does
can
deem
stand behind,
it
yeah.
being a red, then we go, cool. Direct contact to the head in the law book says it's a red card. Whether it slides up, when you slow that thing down to a T, you will find a place where you can pause and go, well, his shoulder's not making contact with the head. So,
But it wasn't. I mean, they did slow it down.
but you shouldn't. But you see, but this is the problem. The problem that I have is you can't slow these things down. You need to play them in real time because it happens in real time.
But in real time, it actually looked like chest contact.
Look, I mean, Franco Mostard's 10 times the height of the guy that he's tackling. So
Exactly, and he did make an attempt to lower
to me,
himself.
there are a lot of mitigating factors.
And it's like split-second decisions, split-second tackles that are
Correct.
happening.
Hence the reason I think the referee should take himself out of that, give him the yellow, step away and go, right, you guys have a room enclosed without the noise of 60,000 screaming fans in your ear. Make a solid decision based on what you're seeing. The referee standing there in the stadium looking up at a big screen, 60,000 people in his ear, probably players on the field.
Yeah.
I don't care how good you are. Those factors
That's
will...
why you have a TMO.
Correct. And so that's
agree.
where I feel we're getting it wrong in
And then
terms of
what
world
about
rugby.
an upright head clash?
We
A
can...
yellow card, but sometimes that's a red.
The problem with rugby
Watching
at the moment
UFC.
is every breakdown, every tackle, you can find fault. If you really want to unpack it, every breakdown, somebody's playing the ball off their feet. Somebody's going off their feet at the breakdown. We just need to have a little bit more, I think, and I
Don't you
say
think
this...
we should advocate for more leniency because we don't want to take that away? I mean, rugby is a full contact sport and you want that full contact.
I don't think we should take, the safety of players should be of utmost importance. Let's never, and when we start blurring those lines, I get that. That being said, I think, and I stick my neck out, Jen, I hope I don't get into trouble, but let rugby people make rugby decisions. I think right now we're letting people in the boardroom make rugby decisions. And
Do you
I
think that's where the problem is?
And I think that's where the problem is because now we're becoming, it's no longer it's no longer rigid. It's no longer treat the situation, take into consideration. We're talking about a lock, tackling a scrum off or a fly off or a guy. The mitigating factors have to be rigid and it's not. And I think that's where we're running into trouble. That being said, we can talk about this at length and I can go on with it. We can till we blue in the face. 14 men, we beat the Italians.
Okay, I mean, it also shows the depth of the Springboks, and this is a strong
know,
Italian
right?
team. What they did to Australia, they're not a walkover. I mean, they were holding us in that first half, in the beginning part of.
Damien Willems that came out and she said they had them in the first 40 minutes.
and it looked like it.
Does this, I mean, how shrewd is in that decision? I mean, the Andre Esterhuizen being able to play flank and center, moving Ethan Hooker then to the wing on attack, putting our scrum started taking a bit of flack, brought in the right props, the stronger, made some early decisions.
Yeah, shame for that early decisions because players like Jason
Dixon,
Dixon,
they suffer at the hands of it.
Exactly. This was supposed to be an opportunity for these less experienced Springboks and players to shine, to show what they've got, to also put their hand up. We belong in the Springbok setup.
Certainly what it does do is show the depth, the mindset of the Springboks.
Yeah.
And, for someone that is quite critical of the Springboks very often.
And quite critical, particularly of Rassie.
Correct. I've got to give them their flowers. I mean, they've really taken their thinking to another level. And long may it continue because World Cup's around the corner.
Yeah.
Can we keep this squad together?
I think so.
Andre Pollard played out of his boots. I thought he was extremely good.
It's so good to see Andre Pollard after so
right?
long and just after seeing, Mani, Sasha Feinberg, Gomez, Zulu, Damien Willems.
Because it's very easy for us to forget.
Yes, that
what we've got.
Exactly.
I see
his veins all the time.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
And he showed that again.
To the Springboks. Unbelievable performance again. Shifting focus very quickly. Ireland this coming weekend. That's a whole different challenge. A whole different kettle of fish.
I think it's going to be a whole different team. I think we're going to see a team that is closer to what we played.
You reckon?
Versus France, yes. I think that Rassie will keep those inexperienced pairings for Wales. I think. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not Rassie.
Yeah. Interesting. We do want the Grand Slam. We do want to...
We want to win. We want to win against Ireland. And so I don't think we're going to do too much experimentation.
Quick prediction, South Africa, Ireland?
No, I think we'll win. Definitely.
Margin. How do you think?
I'm thinking about the margin now. I don't think it's going to be the greatest of margins, or probably something similar to what we saw this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other results quickly, just from an international point of view. England, they beat New Zealand 33-19. That's a massive result for England.
I feel it is massive. And then some of the comments afterwards about, actually, I think they were taking it out of context and maybe making too much of a big deal over it. About England wanting to test themselves against the Springboks, you know, because they.
If I'm honest with you, I just feel like South Africa are
the Springboks,
and I hate to say it, but like we really are head and shoulders above the rest at the moment.
It seems that way because even with a team like what we saw this past weekend, and not even playing with a full team, we come out with the results. Then and we change things within the game. You see, this is what sets the Springboks apart, is the ability to adapt to the current situation.
Correct. Good point, actually. Very good point. The other results quickly. Wales 24-23 against Japan. Not too much to talk about that. France, Fiji, not too much. Of course, the French bouncing back from their loss against the South Africa. And then Ireland hammering Australia 46-19. This is actually a clash of the Titans. I know we put the French, we built the French up and we made this a massive thing. But
they also did that, though.
They also did that. Yeah,
they positioned themselves 100%. As the best.
100%. They positioned themselves as this, the best. To be fair, they didn't win. They didn't win the Six Nations, so they are the best of the Northern Hemisphere.
Yes.
Speaking of the Northern Hemisphere, very quickly, Jeepers, we haven't even touched on this, and it wasn't part of my prep at all. But the Northern Hemisphere, the new competition, the Nations Championship. Have you had a look at it?
I haven't had a look at it.
The Nations Championship is now going to put the best of. I've got to get this right. The best of the Northern Hemisphere versus the best of the Southern Hemisphere to try and work out which hemisphere number one is the best.
Yeah.
And then which team is the best. The competition will run in 2026, 2028, and 2030. And it'll happen in the June test window and the November test window. And they'll all play a role in the final wrap-up, which will take place in November 2028.
I like it. And I think that we already know what the answer is.
You think so?
I think so.
First match in the Nations Championship, South Africa versus England in South Africa. We don't have the venues just yet.
No,
South Africa versus England.
Although I did see that England's touring next year, July or June.
Yes, so that'll be part of the Nations Championship.
Yeah.
I don't know when last we've played. I don't know when last we've played another country in South Africa. Well, besides like the minnows, we played Italy in South Africa. But I'm talking about a big test match against one of the top 5 in the world. I don't know when last.
Year.
Did we play? Who did we play here?
England.
I think you might be right, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point, actually. Yeah, I think we might be right.
I was at that match.
But the point is, the Nations Championship, I think this is now really starting to hit the sweet spot for international rugby, if I'm honest.
There's a lot of rugby on the cards, and I think that that's very exciting. And then.
And do you think South Africa are going to end up tops?
I have no reason to doubt it. I have no reason.
I'm a massive advocate. I think Southern Hemisphere, I always say head and shoulders above the Northern Hemisphere.
Yes.
That being said, only South Africa and Argentina were successful this past weekend against Northern Hemisphere opposition.
But, okay.
So, just something to think about.
Is Japan going to be in the mix?
Yeah, so the
exciting.
Southern Hemisphere teams will be, and I speak under correction, 6 teams I've got to mention.
Yeah.
So Fiji and one other. Then it's South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, Argentina, Fiji, and I can't remember.
Is Samoa involved?
And I can't. No. So they're not. They make up the Nations Cup, which is the second 12.
Okay.
And then, of course, the Northern Hemisphere will, of course, be England, Wales, Ireland, Scotland.
I actually think that I think this is going to be beneficial for the Northern Hemisphere teams because we saw back when it was Super Rugby how teams that played within the Super Rugby setup really benefited. Playing against South African teams and how that worked. I think this is going to benefit the Northern Hemisphere teams. So, I think it's like, iron sharpens iron. It's that kind of thing.
No, yeah. So, just very quickly, I actually just pulled it up quickly. The 6 Nations teams will be the Northern Hemisphere representatives, South Africa, New Zealand, Australia, Argentina, Fiji, and Japan, interestingly enough. Okay. The Southern Hemisphere, their teams of the men's will be made up of, let's try and find it here quickly, Okay, I can't find it. But Southern Hemisphere teams have won 9 of the 10 men's rugby World Cups. With England's victory in 2003, the solid success are for the North. And then it says that also the world rankings are split more evenly with 5 teams from each hemisphere in the top 10 of the world rankings. So very evenly matched competition.
On paper.
I cannot wait. This is going to be really, really exciting. This is going to be exciting. I think this is taking international rugby to another level because sometimes I feel like that June test window, it's like kind of nothing test matches. Yeah. The same with this end of year tour. It's kind of nothing. There's nothing really on the line. Yes. Now, bonus points play a role. Tries conceded, tries for, etc.
It's always great when it's in a tournament format. Because there's something to play for.
Something to play for, exactly. So
and now jump into what you think of World Rugby Player of the Year nominees.
Yes, we didn't get to that. So World Rugby Player of the Year nominees, very quickly. The 3 nominees that are out there are, help me out here,
Peter Steph du Toit, Malcolm Marx,
Oxenchair, and there's another one, Biari, the Italian.
Yes, French.
The Frenchman, the French winger.
So one Louis.
Yeah.
1 Frenchman, 3
Let me try and pull it up here while you talk. Here we go. 1 Frenchman. Louis Biari, Malcolm Marx, Oxenchair, Peter Steph du Toit.
Do you agree with that? Look, Peter Steph du Toit, it's like he's so good that you almost forget that he's so good just because he's so consistently good all the time.
I think he's won it 2 years in a row already.
He deserves to be there. He won it the last...
I think he should win it again.
Okay.
Oxenchair really does take a claim, and I wonder if a prop has ever won it. Jeez, that would be a first. But I do think it's the right guys, and I think it's between Ox and Peter Steph.
Okay.
I mean, World Rugby and the French, I
don't know. Actually, it'd probably be the Frenchman.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It could very well be. But based on the dominance of South Africa, the right people are there. And probably Peter Steph du Toit, if I had to choose.
And then Breakthrough Player of the Year, Ethan Hooker.
Breakthrough Player of the Year, I'm surprised Sasha's not there, but I don't think he's been around for long enough.
But he was nominated for Breakthrough Player of the Year last year.
Was he?
Yeah, he was.
So maybe he doesn't fall under Breakthrough anymore because it's his second season.
And then Wallace Titi won it.
You might be right, yes.
Won it last
So quickly,
year.
just the other nominees are Fabian Holland of New Zealand, Ethan Hooker, South Africa, Joseph Akuso Suwali of Australia, and Henry Pollock of England. Probably Suwali has really been good.
Yeah.
Although Ethan Hooker also had a fantastic season. Wow, it's going to be interesting. I can't wait to see the results of this.
It's going to be very interesting.
I mean, obviously my bias leads towards Ethan Hooker. I think he's been fantastic.
That's what we want to do.
But Suwali, just from the Australian, even though Australia not the greatest Australian team he's playing in, they beat South Africa not too long ago.
Yeah, but you know what? Australia's actually had one of the best years.
They
one
have
of the best
seasons.
Yeah. Despite what happened these past couple
of
games.
Yeah. Even they went down to the wire in the rugby championship. So
exactly. So they could have won it.
I wonder why the wheels have come off for Australia. I think it's a depth. It's got to be a depth thing. I think
it is a depth thing.
Yeah, I just don't think they have the depth. Anyway, that's really a wrap of our rugby segment. I mean, we could carry on all show just talking about rugby. There's so much happening in the world of rugby that I don't want to stop. I mean, the Sevens also kicks off. Is it this weekend? Next weekend?
It does, next weekend.
Next weekend. Dubai Sevens takes place. Then 2 weeks after that, we move all the way to Cape Town. Cape Town Sevens, we're going to unpack that. And there's just so much for us to talk about. But we got to shift focus a little bit.
We do, because our cricket guys.
Our cricketers, how's that?
So
123 runs India needed for victory.
Yeah.
We come out and we bowled them out for 93 or something.
We did bowl them out for 93. And
you're the cricketer. You're the cricket expert. Quickly unpack
when I was watching, I was in studio at the time that South Africa were playing their second innings. I was deeply disappointed. I was watching, wickets were falling. The only player that was really putting any runs on the board there was Temba Bavuma, the captain leading from the front, and we love to see it. That's the type of innings that you must play.
The poor man has taken
55 of 136 balls, and you're right. Were you going to say he's taken a lot of flack?
He's taken so much flack, guys. Like, his record stands, and I read this the other day, and just correct me if I'm wrong, 11 test matches, 10 victories, 1 draw.
Yeah.
Like, he's the fastest test match captain in the world to reach 10 victories as a captain of test match cricket.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's
how
so
is this
great.
man taking this much flack? I saw an apology letter doing its rounds of like, how are we going to apologize to Temba Bavuma? But
For years.
we're the
For
current
years,
Test
he's
world
taken-
champions.
He's taken it for years, and we have to.
We haven't
talk
beaten
about
India also. We haven't beaten India in India since
2010.
2010.
Yeah.
Like, what is it about our testing that's going well? And, to be honest,
Shukri Conrad.
you think it's Shukri Conrad?
I do think it's Shukri Conrad. And yeah.
He is creating something there that
He's
is...
definitely doing something special. I'm not going to look at what happened with the ODIs versus Pakistan and the T20s, but this test team, we're back to being that number one test team. And that's so special because the last time we saw that was when Graham Smith was the captain.
Oh, wow, really? That long ago?
Yes, and there was still a whole documentary, Road to Number One, and we were loving that team. I mean, we had Hashim Amla, we had Jacques Callas. Remember Callas?
Yes.
What an amazing all-rounder. And now this team is stepping up to the plate, and they are showing why they are champions to come back like that against India, in India.
What was your thinking after the first innings? We were
So,
bowled out for, what was it?
459.
Yeah.
And then I thought, okay, we're going to come back in that second innings and put on something competitive. And that was not the case while I was watching it. I saw wickets kept on falling. And I was like, okay, no, India's going to win this. I actually lost faith.
Yeah.
I was like, India's going to win this. But our bowlers did it for us, I would say.
Simon Harmer?
Simon
8
Harmer.
for 51, I think it was in the end.
Yeah, he was brilliant. If I look at just the summary there. So
Took a 4 for in the
was
first innings
4
and a 4 for
30,
in...
and then 4 for 21.
Yeah.
That is
8 wickets for
brilliant.
51 runs. What is it with these Indian wickets? Like, do they make them like that? Is that...
Average wicket, I think, for this test match.
Because surely their weapon is Bumrah.
Yes.
And that pitch is not conducive
but,
to his bowling. Or would you disagree?
well, he took 5 wickets there.
But
5
surely
for
it's a spinner's
27.
wicket.
And look, I would say that we also got some pace bowlers doing great things there on that wicket. But yes, they create wickets that are spin friendly, and they've for a long time been the world experts when it comes to spin.
Yeah.
You know, they've had South Africans changing the way they play, wanting to play more spin, trying to face more spin, and we've seen them do that and improve in that.
Yeah.
But what I can say, given this test match, brilliant from South Africa. I'm so proud. Bowling India out for 93 in their second innings.
That must
you
be a
didn't
lowest...
think that you thought that we were going to lose.
Oh, no, I
because
stopped watching. I stopped watching. I had no faith whatsoever.
We had a conversation on Saturday morning, though.
Yes.
And
It looked like we were going to get hammered. Oh, no, sorry. We looked like we were coming back. And I was like, how's this even possible against India? In India.
yeah.
Like, that is unheard of. So, well done to the Proteas.
For the first
Our
time.
test match. Yeah, for the first time since 2010, we're winning a test match. Bowling India out for 93 in that final session. Very, very impressive. Quickly, we're running out of time, Tara.
Oh, are we running out of time? No, let's talk about football
I want to
then.
talk, I quickly want to talk Italy. Not qualifying for their third successive World Cup. They have got a chance.
There is a chance,
But
yes.
we know that the last 2 World Cups they didn't qualify. They
No, they
also
didn't.
had a chance.
And then the previous World Cup that they did qualify for, I think they were out in the group stages.
Yeah. So that's now,
But
what's
they
that?
won it in
12 years.
2006, and they hold on to that when Fabio Cannavaro, oh my goodness.
So they won it
and he
in
won the Ballon d'Or
2006,
that year.
and then 2 years later, 2 World Cups later, can't qualify and haven't qualified since. Now didn't qualify directly again, so they go back to the playoffs. They've lost their last 2 games, 3-1 and 4-0 or something ridiculous.
Yes. Listen.
Talk me through what's going on there.
So, with Italy not qualifying automatically now for the World Cup, it is 100% Norway's fault. Because they were...
Oh yes, Haaland scoring 2 goals in as many minutes almost.
Exactly, because they were in a group with Estonia, Moldova, Israel, and Norway. And if Norway were not in that group, or if they had beaten Norway, they would be top of that group. So it was a very, very tough group. In fact, this last game, what's making it tough is the fact that Norway's there and Haaland. Norway haven't qualified for the World Cup since 1998, so that's their own fairy tale story that's happening for them right now. And they were going...
Is Haaland the savior?
I think so. He scored most of their goals.
Really?
Most of their goals in this FIFA World Cup qualifying.
Amazing what one man can do, eh? But
I mean, obviously it's a team
Where
effort.
to for Italy, though? I mean,
Italy are
realistically,
angry.
you think they'll qualify?
I think they should. They should.
Because these playoffs haven't been good to them in the past.
No, they haven't. But I think that
Do we
they
know
could.
who they're playing it? I'm actually trying to find out.
No, not. I don't think we know yet.
So we don't know yet.
We don't know yet, but we do know that Sweden, sitting at the bottom of their group in the qualifiers, they will be playing in the playoffs 100% because of winning the Nations League 2024-2025 season.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So they automatically get a playoff spot. So I feel like Italy is angry. They've voiced how there's so many African teams that are getting spots, South American teams, because there's so many more teams qualifying for this particular World Cup.
Yes, of course, more teams in the World Cup, right?
Yes, but I think it's been quite a generous qualification process.
Yeah.
The very fact that Sweden can still get a playoff spot speaks to that now.
Yeah.
And I think what? So they want Africa to only have 1 or 2 teams playing in the World Cup? I think that's unfair. Because if we're only going according to the world rankings, and I understand Italy, I think, are ranked 6th in the world rankings, in the FIFA world rankings. If we only go according to that, it's really unfair because it excludes, if I think about Africa, how often do African teams get to play against the top teams, the number 1, the number 2, the number 3? With rugby qualification, I mean, there's still opportunities for lesser teams, less experienced teams, lower teams in the rankings to play teams like the Springboks. But in football, we are not seeing that. We are not seeing South Africa up against Italy. We're not seeing South Africa take on Portugal and Spain and England. And speaking of Portugal, England, Spain, France, they're not complaining at all about these World Cup qualifications because they're sitting very pretty qualifying for the World Cup by massive margins. So the problem, I think, is Italy. Italy, check yourself and check your privilege. That's what I'm going to say to Italy.
And they've got such a wealth of talent. I mean, the Italian league is so good. I don't know, there's something, there must be deeper rooted problems in Italy, in Italian football rather. Because not being able to qualify, I mean, after being world champions, etc.
Look, they did win every single game in their World Cup qualifications, except their games against Norway.
Oh, wow, that's interesting. I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's not like they've
been
poor. It's just...
They just can't seem to beat Norway.
They must win all their playoff games.
And then, of course, back to the Premier League. Premier League takes place, so we're gonna rush through this very quickly.
So
but
North London Derby is probably the biggest thing that's happening this weekend.
But also, AFCON starts pretty soon, and there are a lot of Premier League teams that are going to lose. I was just reading up actually right here now. 17 Premier League clubs are said to be affected by players jetting off to the host country, Morocco. The tournament runs from the 21st of December till the 18th of January. Bafana is there, of course. But plenty of Premier League teams are going to be
And we want
missing.
our Foster involved.
And my Man United is going to lose Mbuemo, which is a big one. I don't know what we're going to do without him. But Premier League fixtures this weekend, anything that stands out to you?
For me, it's that North London derby. Arsenal versus Tottenham. It's at the Emirates. And this is to show my impartiality. You know, as a Liverpool fan, I can still be impartial. Michael Oliver is reffing that game.
Yes, she goes with Michael Oliver.
No, but Michael Oliver, we have seen his very suspicious decisions, his controversial decisions against certain teams. And one of those teams is Arsenal. Now, taking Liverpool, Man United, Man City, everyone out of it, Arsenal, I think, are going to suffer at the hands of Michael Oliver. I wouldn't be surprised if they only come away with a draw against Tottenham, even though they're playing at home. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see a red card.
And you're no longer in the running for the Premier League, so you're not two-faced, but...
Listen, don't say that. It's still early. Like, if we look at the table here...
No, don't worry about the table. I mean, do you feel like your team is still in the running?
I think we're competitive. Anything can happen. AFCON's happening, you know.
Fair enough. Okay, well, that's a wrap, folks. We're running out of time here. You quickly wanted to touch on... There was something else I wanted to touch on that I can't remember now.
I think it was the fight.
Yes, the fights of the weekend. UFC. Quickly. Mahashev versus...
Jack Della Maddalena.
Yeah, I know you're a Karate Kid yourself, so you're into the fight game.
I was very disappointed in what I saw from Maddalena, because he looked defeated after the first round. He was taken down in every single round. Islam won that welterweight championship fight. by unanimous decision, and I understand why, because he dominated. I think
I saw something like 17 minutes of ground and pound that he dominated.
Yeah, he dominated. He took him down every time. Jack Madalena had
understand
no
these
answer.
guys.
He had zero answer to those takedowns. I would say he came out swinging for maybe 2 seconds of that fight. Literally the first 2 seconds he came out. I saw the punches. I was like, okay, this is going to be a competitive fight. That was it.
Yeah.
That was where it ended. I don't know if he got injured within the first few seconds, if he couldn't handle the pressure of this fight, the biggest fight. Makhachev has like one of the longest running winning streaks.
I think he's on 15 now.
16.
16. He's equaled Anderson Silva.
Yeah.
On fight winning streaks. So
brilliant.
Interesting, yeah.
And he was brilliant. I honestly thought it would be a closer
Yes,
matchup.
this Nurmagomedov and his team are really starting to dominate the UFC.
I know, eh?
It's crazy. And I saw Dana White come out and say that money is the biggest problem in the UFC at the moment, because what's happening now is there's even talk of Islam only fighting 2 or 3 more fights, then he's going to retire. The same with Shemaev. 2 or 3 more fights and he's going to be retired, because they're just making so much money they don't need to fight anymore.
They're not hungry for it.
Yeah.
But the way that they fight, it seems like they're hungry. And wrestling once again dominating.
Yeah, crazy, right?
So if you didn't watch this fight, it was basically like watching Drickus again and Khamzat.
Talking about fighting very quickly, Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua. Is this a joke or is it like for real?
It's always a little bit of a joke in a money-making thing.
It is, eh?
It is.
But Anthony Joshua is still fighting at the highest level. Why would he take on a fight like this? I know it's a money. I know it's a big
money.
payday.
I mean, like, come on. Like, if you offer me, millions.
I think it's something like
to
50.
Do some fights, I
he
would
made
do it.
51 million pounds the last time.
That's ridiculous. It's all about money. I think it's money.
Yeah.
And I would take the fight as well.
Oh, really?
100%. If I get a call, listen, Tara, can we do like a grappling match? Maybe, submission only. I'd say yes, 100%.
Really?
Give me 2 weeks. 2 weeks to prepare my fight. My fight camp will be 2 weeks. I don't care. I will jump into it. Because I know I'm making millions either way. Win or lose, it doesn't matter. I'm making money.
Oh, well, there you have it, folks. Unfortunately, we ran out of time. What's it there? We're already so many minutes into the show. I still wanted to talk about the Las Vegas Grand Prix coming up, but of course, Lucia couldn't make it this evening. So what we'll do is we'll touch on it on Saturday morning. Don't forget a reminder, 8 to 9 a.m. play-by-play on air and we'll be online as well. We'll try and record some of it. But we're going to talk all things Las Vegas Grand Prix, Oscar Piastri, Lando Norris, Max Verstappen. Who's in the running? Who's going to make it? Who's not going to make it? I'm going to try and get the Lucia on for that as well. Of course, this is an extension of the on-air product, and this is the offline product. So once again, thank you so much to Tara Lee for joining me.
It's been a pleasure.
What are you most looking forward to this weekend? Quickly.
Probably the return of the Premier League, I think. And to see what, obviously, Springboks
can do against Ireland.
Yeah, can do against Ireland. I think a win.
Yeah. Win for the Springboks. Remember, Friday, Bok Friday. Get into that Springbok jersey and let's get behind our Springboks. 2 more matches on tour, I think it is. Yeah, we've still got Wales and we've still got Ireland. So still plenty of rugby to talk about. Then, of course, also we're going to unpack the Springbok Sevens, the Blitzbooks. They'll be in action next week at the Dubai Sevens, and then they ship themselves back to Cape Town for the Cape Town leg of the Sevens series. Let's hope our Blitzbooks can start to fly the flag high for South Africa again. Once again, thank you so much for joining me. An absolute pleasure hosting you. Leave us a message in the comments. Let us know your thoughts. But yeah, that's really it from us for now. Catch you again next week, same time, same place. Goodbye, everybody.